So yeah, we're in Chicago. You see the title of the video. This story's f***ing crazy, and it sucks. And I'm out $3.5 million, so make sure to go get some Prime, because every dollar goes right back into my pocket. Alright, here we go.
Hello everyone, and today we're talking about Logan Paul. That's a first for my channel, but Logan Paul was scammed for $3.5 million, supposedly, on Pokemon cards. Now I'm pretty sure it's basically confirmed that this is true, that he was scammed, but in that opening he was disingenuous. Why, you might ask? Because he didn't really lose $3.5 million, and we'll get to that later on in the video. But here is Logan Paul's sort of brief synopsis of what's going on here.
Is it in here?
The whole thing is in here. We're sitting in the vicinity of 11 first edition base set Pokemon boxes. This will probably never happen again.
He released this photo to Twitter. Just dropped $3.5 million on the sealed and authenticated box of first edition Pokemon cards.
This was the most anybody had ever spent on Pokemon cards ever.
I'm gonna tell you why I don't trust the case, the contents, or the authentication.
There's enough sketchy stuff going on about the origin of this box.
Logan Paul may have spent the $3.5 million on fake Pokemon cards.
Just from that clip, you get an idea of what's going on. He bought a case and a lot of people thought it was fake. Well, he went to get it reevaluated by BBCE in Chicago. And this is where things get a little sticky. BBCE has been around since 1990, and their reputation was on the line with this box. They verified it beforehand for Logan's friend. We'll explain a little bit more in this next clip, but their butts were on the line with this. And this is why I'm personally so certain this was 100% a real scam. Because what company that's been around longer than I've been alive put their reputation on the line for Logan Paul? Like, really, why would they?
From looking at it, there's nothing suspicious about the outside of the case.
Quick context, this is Matt. He's one of the biggest sports card collectors in the world, and he bought the Pokemon case for $2.7 million. He then sold it to me for $3.5 million, but he's become a close friend, and I could trust that he'd refund me if things went wrong.
Logan said he could trust that his friend would refund him if things went wrong. Well, things went very wrong. And guess what? Logan was refunded. Probably before the start of this video where he said, "Please buy Prime." That's what I meant by disingenuous. He didn't lose that money, his friend did. His friend lost $2.7 million. But let us continue.
The reason why I was mostly concerned was because the person who brought it to me, he had so many inconsistencies, so much inconsistencies in the stories. It was like 3-4 different stories. That was my issue.
If I was about to buy a Pokemon card box for $2.7 million, I don't think I'd trust a guy with inconsistencies in his story. Just me personally, I mean. It goes to show later that he only purchased the box because BBCE authenticated it for him before he purchased it. Which again, BBCE butt on the line here. But before this person, I believe, another person had it listed on eBay, which was also a sketchy listing with contradicting stories. So this box has been around for a little while, I'd say.
These boxes, for instance, this is the actual eBay archive of what was the box that Logan had gotten. So this is a little bit weird, it's a little sussy-wussy. This is back from like March 29, 2021. So you guys can see right over here that we've got 9015932. In fact, if we look at the actual serial code, which is WOC 060331E, in fact, WOC 060331E, that was tied back right to the seller. So this is the OG seller. And back then, the winning bid was 91,000 Canadian, so around 72 grand American, right? And of course, the more we go down into it, it actually was shipping, I believe, from Alberta, Canada, right over here. So yeah, investigators traced that box back to its original seller, or at least one of the original sellers, right? Someone in the actual chain. So now if we look inside over here, let's look through their eBay listing real quick. Up for auction is an extremely rare and hard to find factory sealed case of Pokemon base set first edition containing 6 booster boxes. An item is an absolute must have for any collection. Don't miss out on this once in a lifetime opportunity to add this beautiful piece of history and highly valuable asset to your collection.
Now this is just the eBay listing, but there is 2 other sources where this original seller purchased this box, where he had found it / purchased it. 2 different stories. I'll show you that now.
2 different stories. The first one we've got from this account, again, provided none of this is ever faked,
is last year, this is their origin story. I was very bored, so I went over to my sister's to see what she was up to. She was not up to much, so we went for a drive to go get coffee. After we picked up coffee, she wanted to check out some estate sales, so we drove around looking at a few. Not really my thing. But I was bored, so around the 3rd estate sale, she took me to, I was so bored, I wanted to jump off a bridge. So as I was waiting for my sister, I was standing by a table having a smoke. When I went to put my smoke out, on the bottom of my boot, I seen a box with loose trading cards containing Pokemon, hockey, baseball, etc. I started looking and seen a few I liked. Then I seen the case with all its paperwork next to the box. I was looking in. Right away, I picked it up, asked the lady if it was for sale. She said yes, it was her grandson's, the man that passed away, and it was part of the estate sale. Now you know the story about the case.
What the is that story?
Now this next story is gonna be really short, just a simple message, but it's the same user with a different story.
Now, if you thought that was one story, I've got a much more brief one for you. This is the other one from the same account, provided again none of these DMs have been faked. It was a gift for my 12th birthday in 1999, and I only got a few single Pokemon cards left and my hockey cards. Yeah, it's incredibly sussy-wussy, no joke.
And after this, it's sort of explained that these Pokemon card boxes are not quite as rare as one might think, shown in later clips from the same video I'm taking from some ordinary gamers.
100% of the people thought that it was legit. Still, I think it's better. You know, I have a case, like you know, and I half cracked it. I just opened up half of the top.
Uh-oh, you see that face on Logan right there? That's the face of, I just made a poke up.
Wait, I didn't know that.
Well, you know I have 9 boxes.
I knew that.
Yeah, oh, well, 6 of them
Six of those are in a case?
Yep.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Gary, what? Bro, what?
Oh, that just goes to show you that they are still rare, but not quite as rare as what Logan thought. He thought he was the only one that was going to have one. But that wouldn't be true.
You're from BBC?
Yes, I'm the owner. Yep.
You're the owner of BBC,
Yep.
and you authenticated this?
Yes. Me and Michael are going to go over, when it came to my office that day, what I looked for. Back in March of this year, this case came into my office. They asked for my opinion if the outside of this case had been tampered with, played with, reproduced in any way. You could see in this piece of seal that was put on there by Wizards of the Coast that this tape is aged onto this case.
Armed with the knowledge we know this is already fake, we know that the only way it would look aged is because somebody faked it a long time ago. At least when the eBay seller popped up, which that bid on eBay ended March of 2021, which would have gave it around almost a year to age, so I don't believe that that particular seller made it fake. I think they might have known before, but I have a theory it was earlier in the chain when this was faked.
So this is actually a general trading card scam, but to understand what's going on, we actually looked at this a while back with one of the experts Logan Paul aligned himself with. This expert showed up on a YouTube channel known as Dumb Money, where they kind of like covered a case unboxing. But generally the idea goes like this. Somebody way back in the day when these cases first came out buys a case, and they may take all the valuable cards out of the case and then stuff them back in, reseal it with fake cards or valueless cards. Now once it's all resealed and repacked, the person who initially bought that and is now running the scam takes that and sells that case that they may have bought for, let's say, $1,000 to another person, and they buy it for $5,000. So the second person never opens the box, because the general idea is they want to hold on to that box, wait like 10 years for it to be worth a substantial amount of money to sell, because the value of these cards really comes from rarity. See, if there's like 1,000 rare Charizards, eventually after 15 years, there's probably going to be like, 100 Charizards that are in perfect mint, untouched, virgin condition.
Now, I could have explained this part, but I really liked how he explained it, so I left that clip in. But what I was talking about was the chain. Somewhere in the chain of people owning this box, they cut it open, and they replaced it with fake cards, and the reason this works is because, yes, people want to keep it sealed to keep its value, which is why these scams go so well.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Yes! Oh my god! Wait, hold on. Okay, that's a good sign. What? Why are they so puffy? Why are they so puffy though?
See how they're shaped all?
They don't look right.
Oh my god. Oh my
my God.
bro. G.I. Joe! G.I. Joe! G.I. Joe! It could have been anything else!
I would have never purchased this if it wasn't BBC Rap. We only buy it because of that. But because of that, I felt confident it was legit. It was good.
Rip the man who purchased this box. Rip.
Emotional damage.
But that's the kind of the rundown of what happened there. I did do a little research to try to figure out what age these cards were, these G.I. Joe cards. Because I wanted to see how early in the chain this could have been faked, and it could have been faked really early. If these eBay listings are correct, all these cards were made in 1991, which means that the scam could have been performed like as soon as the box came out. But because of this tweet, first edition booster pack boxes didn't have 1E on the barcode until Jungle and Fossil. That led me to believe that it was likely, at least after Jungle and Fossil, that these were placed in the box. Since it was aged, it does make me believe that BBCE wasn't really all that wrong about it being aged, because it could have been packed right after Jungle and Fossil came out. And I believe those boxes were faked in the first place. Like, they didn't look like legit E1 boxes. Anyway, that's all for today. I just really wanted to talk about this because I love Pokemon cards. And Pokemon in general. I just found it to be really interesting because I myself have been scammed a few times. Just never out of $3.5 million. No. More like 20 bucks, but, you know. And humble brag, I do have base set 1. All of base set 1, shadowless, of course, not first edition. I'm not that rich, but I've been working on that for a while and I thought I'd mention it in a video. This one in particular. But anyways, don't get scammed. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll see y'all later. Bye!